Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Joining me, as always, is my co-host from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast, Rebellious D. How you doing today, bro?
Ready to rock.
Hey, and I'm ready to rock with you. We are reviewing Stargirl, Season 2, Episode 12, Summer School, Chapter 12. And before we get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, you subscribe to the channel, and you hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And D, like you always tell everybody,
podcast in the description. Like, follow, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.
Man, bro, I'm just so hyped that we're finally getting to the end of Stargirl. Like, this is the episode 12, and then now we only got one episode left. And like all of the foreshadowing in this episode, man, like with Jenny having the dreams and stuff and seeing what's gonna happen, and she had the vision that Courtney was going to be evil, and then we see. Well, you didn't see the trailer for the episode 13, did you?
No, nope. I like being surprised by the show, actually. So
okay, see, I didn't watch it on the CW app. I had it recorded on my DVR, and they showed the trailer. But next week's episode is going to be fire, man, and I can't wait to see everybody working together. Like I love the stuff with Courtney and Yolanda, and I'm actually surprised that Courtney was able to see her, and she rolled up on her, and she was just like, "Hey, we need your help." And Cindy, she was just in the distance watching, and she rolled up on Yolanda. She showed up at her house.
Hey, no, she showed up at church, Playboy.
No.
Are you talking about
Cindy? Was in the distance. She was watching Courtney and Yolanda talk to each other, and she overheard their conversation, but.
Right.
She
you're talking
at her house.
Yes.
She rode up on her, bro. So like that whole interaction between Cindy and Yolanda, like,
yes.
What were your thoughts on that?
I thought it was interesting. I love the amount of tension in the scene. It was necessary because somebody needs to get Yolanda to get off her ass. It's go time. So yeah. What about you? How did you feel about it?
I thought it was interesting. I thought that it was cool that that Cindy referenced what happened when Yolanda was on stage in the school in season 1, and how she was just like, you thought that it was him that sent the text message, but it was me all along. It was Agatha all along. We just tell you, it was Cindy all along.
It was
Cindy. It's just like, Yolanda, she had every right to beat her ass. And now something that was just funny about that scene is how the entire time it's like we're watching, and then Yolanda's mom calls out to her, and then you just see that the window's there, and then when she turns back around, like Cindy's gone. I'm just like, I get it. It would have been. I just wanted to see Cindy like just sneak out of the window. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't see that. She just turned around. It was the classic Batman thing.
Yeah,
just
hit her with Batman.
But when did she? If she didn't go out the window, then what did she do? Like, what I'm saying?
She flew out the window.
Hey, bro, I don't know what she did, but
same thing. You think, well, where did Batman go? Same thing. Cindy did the same thing.
And I think it's interesting because, bro, I mean, we talked about it on last week's episode review. The Shade is still alive.
Oh, no question. That's the dude. He's dancing somewhere.
You saw Barbara. She turned around. You see the top hat. And I was just like, he's sick, because remember in last week's episode, like they said he was in 2 locations. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So it's just going to be, I'm pretty sure that he's going to be at the final battle, and he's going to help them out when they need it.
Interesting.
Also, too, Dr. Midnight and Beth, they finally met each other.
She got her mentor in the flesh.
And he walking around with the shades on.
Yeah,
I wear my sunglasses at night.
Dr. Midnighter. Sweet character, man. I really enjoy him. So it's fun to finally get to know. Like I mentioned it last week, I believe, about the whole vision kind of thing he had going on, like where it was just the voice and the goggles. He was kind of like Jarvis, and now he's there.
But I'm gonna tell you my favorite moment from the entire episode.
Oh God!
I think you already know what it is.
I hope it's not what I think. Is Pat in the scene?
Yes, it is. Bro, Pat rolled up on Rick's uncle.
And he like this.
And he was just like, hey, I really need you to drop those charges. He was like, Rick is a good kid, and you know, it's like if you don't drop those charges, then a lot of people are gonna be in trouble. And this dude wrote on like, bro. Of course, I'm sitting here thinking that he was gonna write up there "F you," but of course they weren't gonna show what he said because this is a PG-13 show, and. It was just funny. It said "Go to hell," and Pat was just like, got people like you. I said, "Here we go." I was not expecting that. Hey, he locked the door. He closed the blinds. The dude was sitting there in bed screaming. And then when Pat, he was sitting outside of the police station. Rick was just like, "Yeah, my uncle. He dropped the charges. What happened?" And Pat was just like, your uncle's a good guy."
Yeah. Hey, dude, I was weak when Pat walked in there. Dude was looking hurt. I knew what was coming, man. I knew it. His uncle's a drunk, bro. He won't.
Yeah, he was just like, he said, your brother, he wanted you to watch after Rick. Rick is a good kid, and you've done nothing but take advantage of him. Just like you take advantage of people at the bar. I was just like, man, Pat was going in on him. And
yes, sir.
Because a part of me thought that Pat was just going to leave when his uncle said "Go to hell." But when I saw Pat walk over to that door and lock it, now why didn't his uncle press like the button to call the nurse? You know what I'm saying?
Because Pat ain't give him no time to press no damn button for the nurse.
And Pat probably told the nurse, whatever you do, don't come in this room.
To be honest, that guy could have been doped up too, because Rick put a hurting on that man.
Yeah, that's true too. Well, what do you think Pat did? Do you think they arm wrestled? Do you think that they play Smash Brothers?
Rock, paper, scissors, bro. And Pat, hey, when you can only make one simple, Pat had a beat.
That was a sweet moment. But
it was.
And we have, Mike. He finally finds the dude that has his pen. What is his name? Jakeem? Yeah, Jakeem.
Yes, there it is.
And look, when they go to his room, the first thing I saw, he had that poster of Dave Chappelle up on the wall. And I was just like, all right. Like, all I know is that because Dave Chappelle is surrounded with controversy right now, and that poster is not going to be back in season 3.
Well, look, Black Lightning took a leap. And they talked about the social injustices, and this show's got Dave Chappelle's back. So let's get it.
Hey, I'm surprised. Like, luckily, I mean, like, this show, it has its fans, but luckily it's not on the level where it's like people just like, oh, well, they had Dave Chappelle on the wall, yada yada yada, this and that. We need to cancel Stargirl.
People need to stop that. People need to stop with the cancel culture. Needs to go away in America. People, that shit's dead. So,
but. No, and then, again, at the end of the episode, it's like, Dr. Midnight and Beth, they at the new JSA place, and she's just like, yeah, I use this place because it's like my dad, like he works late and everything. We have everything that we need here. And then they hear the little boy. And I love like when she used the goggles and like she could actually see Eclipso. Like, I just thought that was sweet. And, now it's like everybody's about to team up and they're going to work together to stop Eclipso. Like, this is it. This is what we've been leading up to, and man, I'm disappointed. I'm happy that we're at the season finale, but I'm disappointed because it's like this is it. And honestly, man,
for sure,
I want to hear your thoughts on this too. But one thing I want to say before I pass you the mic is that I wish that more CW shows would just keep it like 13 to 15 episodes. Don't take any breaks in between and just show everything. Because like this show, like it didn't have any breaks. You know what I'm saying? Compared to Superman and Lois, where it was their first season.
Yes,
they had the COVID scare and whatnot on set. So I mean, I understand. But
I mean, there's a lot that goes into it though. Like shooting location, COVID was still hot. And Stargirl kind of took its break. Well, this was clearly shot, with COVID in mind, based on how many people are on set. But then you have the budgetary reasons. Because my thing with Superman and Lois is that there's obviously more people on set for shooting like that.
For sure, yeah.
So capacity could have something to do with it. But I totally agree because Superman and Lois was really good. And I don't want them to rush it. So, I think you could say you feel the same. Like, you wouldn't want to sacrifice the quality of what they're giving us.
I don't want them to rush it or anything, but it's like I just want it to be on like one schedule. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like they're just showing that there's no breaks, because with Superman and Lois, remember, like
they took like 2-3 breaks,
2-3 weeks.
Didn't they?
Yeah, like
didn't they take 2 breaks?
I think they took like 2 or 3
in one season. Yeah,
they took 2 or 3, and then it's just like for one of them, we had to wait like 2 to 3 weeks before it came back, and like that's one of the things. That's one of the things that like a lot of people were saying on Twitter is that, you know, when you take breaks on these shows, like people, they kind of lose interest. You know what I'm saying?
Because like we know it from our viewership. You know, we were kind of heavy on the Superman Lois till they took the second break.
Yeah, it was the second break that
it was just like it was the our first views kind of. Well, it just kind of dropped off both times.
Yeah,
you know, it took a hurting because people didn't know when they were coming back, and you know, some people aren't just sitting around watching TV, especially now. You know what I'm saying? This is not 1999 where people are just waiting for shows to come back on. So
yeah, they either want everything right now, or it's like you just need to stay on schedule. And that's one of the reasons why when you get like these Disney superhero shows, it's like there's no breaks. They release every episode every week. Then when Netflix, you know, usually when they come out with a show, like they just drop everything at once. And I just hope that on the CW, like moving forward, that they don't take breaks with their shows. Like they shorten the seasons, and instead, like I feel like if you shorten the seasons, it's like you can come out with more content to put on the network. So that way it takes the place of a show like The Flash, for example. They usually has 20 plus episodes because Flash is coming back this season. Season 7 was trash. And I'm just hoping that with season 8, it's like I hope that we don't get a lot of episodes. I don't want to sit through, because a lot of episodes of Flash are just filler episodes. You know what I'm saying? So
it's weird too when you structure a show like that. Why? I feel like if you're gonna do an episodic, keep it, you know, don't do both. Like where you have this looming doom, like big baddie waiting at the end, and then you're just, and then a lot of my problem with the Flash where I started to fall off is like they were just kind of quickly using a lot of his classic villains. Yeah. And then they were just one and done, like Mirror Master. You know, it was just like,
and then you find out in season 7 of the Flash that Mirror Master wasn't even a real person. He was just
I'm like,
you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where I agree with you. It's like it would have been better if you just have like your one big bad, and then maybe you really don't need any of the other villains, but you could have like 1 or 2 show up, like on Falcon and Winter Soldier. You know what I'm saying? Like you had one villain show up, but then you also had the what was the group of people called? I'm mad I can't remember. The Flag Smashers. Then you had the Flag Smashers, but the true villain of of Falcon and Winter Soldier was I'm mad I can't remember the person's name.
Not Baron Zemo,
Hillbreaker, the Power Broker. There we go.
Yes, the Power Broker
was the true villain. You know what I'm saying? Like working in the shadows, but it's just like that's what shows like this need. Like with Stargirl, Eclipso is the main villain. You know what I'm saying? On Titans, it's like they hinted at Blackfire that she was going to be a villain up there too, but the main villain was Scarecrow. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but you also had other villains,
which I thought was kind of weird. Once we got to the conclusion, it was just kind of like a distraction almost. Like you have Blackfire with them the whole time, but nothing ever comes of it really.
Yeah, because everybody thought that she was going to eventually turn, especially when she got powers.
And then you get the story about her killing the parents. It's like, all right, here we go, 2 villains, but it's like, no, thanks for my powers back.
Yeah. So, bro, we still have future seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it might happen, but
I want people to. I think what helps Falcon and Winter Soldier and things like that is the structure of it. You know. It's like they wrap it up in a nice, neat bow by the end. It isn't like a bunch of like, oh, well, here's this villain this week because we don't know what else to do. You know, let me just make this. Let me just throw this random character in that looks like Shiva. And it's like, okay, it's like, what are we doing? So,
and then at the end, like you have Flash. He doing the Flash, the talk no jutsu, and at the end of the episode,
everything's okay.
Everything's okay. All right, I'll see you next week. Have a good
Somebody
time.
Needs to make me a Photoshop poster of the negotiator and just put Barry up there instead of Samuel.
And that's all he does. He just
talks
the villains.
He just talks the villains down. They just come out of the bank willingly.
Yeah, he pulls the mask off, be like, please, you don't have to do this. And they're just like, this guy's just a kid. Well, he ain't a kid no more, but
not no more. He was 7 seasons ago.
But final thoughts on episodes. I know we kind of snowballed.
And it's okay, because that's what we do here on Leveling Up. Hey, if you like snowballing, like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Hit that thumbs up.
That's true.
Final thoughts. Hey, big showdown. Give me some more of that action. You know, we got a taste of that good that one scene, that fight scene in the school was badass. So let's get it. Let me get that. Crank that thing to 11. Banks.
What do you give the
rating? I'm gonna go with a 7. This one was just kind of like, give me an 8 because my man Pat Duke, and he pushed that thing to an 8.
It's set up for
it's a setup. So I ain't gonna be too hard on it. It was still sweet. Love the character. So what do you give it, Banks?
Oh, well, for me, I give the episode, it's between an 8 and a 9. So I'll give it an 8.5 because I really did enjoy it. The scene with Pat was pretty dope. Seeing Mike finally find Jakeem and try to get Thunderbolt back and all that other stuff. I thought that was cool.
Yes.
Finally seeing Yolanda come back and say, hey, the only reason why I'm coming back is because I don't trust Cindy. You can't trust her. You know what I'm saying? That's just like if me, you, and Trav needed help and Michael was just like, I'm going to help you.
And then I'd be like, no, I can't do it. I don't trust them, Banks.
Trench coat.
Blowing in the wind.
But yeah, really good episode. Let us know in the comments what you thought about this week's episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What's your rating? Were you a fan of the Pat scene? How did you feel about Dave Chappelle's poster in Jakeem's room? And D, let them know where they can find you at on social media land.
You can find me at rebellious_D23 at Instagram.com. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Hey, Banks, they meeting up at Town Square, man, and Pat trying to come pick you up. Where can he find you at?
Hey, you can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. And if you don't see me up there as the first person, then I'm going to have to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching this review. Make sure that you check out some more reviews we have here on the channel, along with interviews, reaction videos, podcasts with brand new episodes every Tuesday. And then the video of that episode is up here on YouTube that Friday. Like I always say, keep that pinky up. Stay safe this spooky season. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.